Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Angoville. Our heroes today are going to be S205, also known as Selendis, playing as the UKF British Forces in the blue. And his opponent is going to be Kpen97, playing as the Ostir or Wehrmacht faction in the red. And right off the bat, into the races we go, as we see Selendis sending his infantry section, trying to get straight into that house. We see Kpen wiring off that approach from behind, and then laying down some wire up at the front. Now, I might be mistaken, but I don't think that wire is enough to prevent them from getting inside. I may be wrong, but pretty sure that's how it works. We'll see. Anyway, so the wire over here does get torn apart quite significantly. It almost gets killed. So he's going to be laying down a second line of wires just to prevent that one from being broken too easily. And, yeah, it looks like Selendis for the meantime is going to be backing off and going to be capturing as much as he can with his infantry sections, as he gets 3 in total. Now, in the meantime, we saw Kpen laying down his tier 1, getting himself a grand squad onto the field, and also getting a sniper on the field, which we will keep eye on. Now, sniper, pretty excellent choice. Well, regardless, most of the time it's good to go for a sniper, but it all depends on how you can control it. But against the infantry sections, even more so. Of course, though, that probably means that Selendis will be forced to go for the platoon command post, which he is doing right now, and then going to be getting himself his own sniper to try and counter-snipe. So, good times. Good times. In the meantime, though, we do see Selendis moving his troops over to the left-hand side, getting some capturing going, while the remaining infantry section captures over on the right. The Pios and the Grens moving over in this direction, going to be trying to do what they can, and the sniper for Kpen is just sitting here in the center, not moving over to try and support a little bit, but nothing is currently fighting, so it's nothing right now on the field for it to shoot at, so it doesn't necessarily know where to actually send it. Grand Squad moving in this direction, looks like it's going to be popping itself inside the house, just for a little bit to provide some line of sight. Right-hand side, the Grens and the infantry section are duking it out. Infantry section taking the early claws there, so they will lose that engagement. So they're quickly forced to retreat because, well, there's nothing left for them. And back from base, we do see, of course, the sniper, 55 caliber sniper, coming into play for Selendis. More likely for the counter snipe, so we'll see what happens there. In the meantime, infantry sections on the left-hand side just capturing territory unopposed. Nothing being sent just yet for Kpen, but he is now getting a third Grand Squad, which is moving out to the left-hand side to capture a little bit. Bit of an interesting decision, though. He did go for 3 Grens and a sniper rather than the 2 Grens and an MG. Traditional build order. Not that there's anything bad with that, it's just interesting that it's not happening. So, Grand Squad on the left-hand side, running into the infantry section, not having too much luck as there is no cover on this point, so it gets torn apart and quickly forced to retreat. So for now, Selendis will control the left-hand side in its entirety, as we see the infantry section popping its medical supplies to get a little bit of healing going, and moving back to capture territory. Up in the front, Grens moving back. Where are they going?
The fresh mortar crew has arrived. Can we help?
Okay. So the Grens are being told to move all the way back and pop inside that house. Kpen a little bit too paranoid, I guess, of losing that house. Could have just laid down some more wire there and make sure that nothing can get through without his knowing, but, I mean, I guess that's fine. You know, it's understandable because he basically pushed all the way to the north, so because of that, he doesn't exactly know where anything is, so he can expect that maybe something was going to come up from behind and try and flank and get on top of that house, which, you know, is a understandable and reasonable thing to expect, I suppose. So far, though, not much coming up from Selendis. We do have a Vigor's machine gun coming into play. All 3 of the infantry sections have been popped with medical supplies. to make sure that both themselves and more likely the sniper can be kept at maximum strength. Sniper moving on the left-hand side. Let's keep an eye on that guy. So we have one on this, which only has 2 kills. This one is brand new. And infantry section on the far right-hand side capping. We do have a sniper nearby to provide support. Shots fly. Infantry section loses some members. 1 member to be exact. And the Grunts are going to try and close the distance. They do force the retreat. And away they go. Do have a mortar on the field there for Kpen. Not a bad decision in this map, especially to flush out troops, like for example here, where troops get inside houses. But again, probably having his own MG would not be a bad idea. Blackened Warfare coming into... No, wait, no, that's not Blackened. Why am I calling it that? That's not even the right faction. The AT gun coming into play for Selendis. Not exactly sure why, but...
Our supply line's broken.
I guess he would be expecting tier 2 and scout car or something coming into play right now, but a little bit early for that. Still though, you know, it's safer to have it and may as well.
We have casualties.
Oof, Grand Squad gets taken out there on the retreat for Kpen. Vickers machine gun able to gun it down on the retreat. Second Grand Squad retreating down to 2 men. We do have the snipers, both of them revealing themselves. The sniper for Kpen hasn't really done too much so far. Only 3 kills so far in this game. Trying to put itself in position maybe for a counter snipe, but there's no infantry in front of it. Both for defense, for spotting, and for trying to bait the sniper. Looks like the sniper here for Kpen is going to be forced to move back. Doing a decent job here at keeping itself under cover. Grand Squad moving forward. Neither of them are on their in their ranges. Grand Squad popping into the solid house there. Going to be denying the Royal Engineers and getting some shots flying there at the MG and such. Sniper for Kpen being able to take some shots. And the sniper for Selendis trying to clear out the units inside the house and not doing too great. It's actually missing pretty much every shot. Grand Squad popping out. Royal Engineer Squad down to 1 man, forced to retreat, and Kpen is going to be holding the right-hand side. Sorry. So we hear the mortar from back here, just laying into whatever it can. We do have the 222. Nice little skin there on the 222. Could potentially go sniping for, not sniping, but hunting for snipers. However, there is the AT gun though. And the AT gun does allow the sniper to have a little bit of defense there. Did take a shot at the 222 with the sniper, so he knows where it is. Sniper's not currently in anybody's range. And the 222 still lays into the house, trying to flush out the infantry. Grand Squad behind there, getting torn apart by the infantry section. Damn it, I'm all over the place. And manages to make it out of there, so 1 man left. And on the left-hand side, a Pio Squad by itself, trying to recover the territory as best it can. AT gun moving itself around in the center of the map, setting itself up in the road. Going to be able to take a shot there at the 222. 222 takes a shot and doesn't move. Oof. A little bit of a distraction there for Kpen. Wasn't paying exact attention there and ends up getting himself killed. So the sniper moving up. Neither sniper in each other's range. This one moving back a little bit. So there is counter snipe possibility here. But again, there's no infantry or nothing nearby that will be baiting the sniper to actually reveal himself. So Grand's moving over to the right-hand side. Again, the lone Pio Squad trying to capture territory on the left. We see the infantry sections being moved around to that side. And back at base, the med bunker is finally going down as this Grand Squad is going to sit there and actually try and get itself healed up. Snipers still moving around. We see the Grunts pushing forward. Can he actually get the counter snipe? There goes the shot. There we go. Nice little counter snipe there by Kpen. Manages to clear out the sniper. And he must be feeling rather good about that, which he should. Pretty much getting a counter snipe at any point is a very satisfying thing. So Kpen managing to push over on the right-hand side, going to be recovering a lot of territory. Again, holding the right-hand side is most of the time the fighting that happens in this map, because it has the 2 victory points on that side, as opposed to the 1. Right now, though, Selendis does have 2 of the victory points, even though Kpen has pushed up to the north. He did not manage to recover that territory. The Vickers machine gun pops inside the stone house. The Grunt squad inside that barn structure, trying to fight it from window to window. Not having too much luck there, and is forced to retreat. And the mortar, trying to flush it out. Not doing that great a job, but it's doing what it can. No kill so far on that mortar. It's just bombarding the house there. Denying the territory for the most part, but that's about it. So sniper moving back out after it retreated. Went back to heal a little bit. Infantry section on the left-hand side, being able to capture pretty much all territory here, as Kpen isn't really sending anything to the left. To the left, to the left. And, yeah. Cromwell now on the field for Selendis. Pushing all the way to the front. We do have a pack gun on the field here for Kpen. Going to be trying to do something against the Cromwell. Cromwell just running over Grens, being quite a bit of an ass there. Managing to inflict quite a bit of damage to that that one Grunt squad. However, it is moving its way back. The pack gun is not properly set up. It doesn't have line of sight. Oof. So it looks like the Cromwell is going to be able to make it out of there without much of an issue. Kpen does have a Tellermine there in the center, but I don't think the Cromwell is going to move into this. Oh, it is going to move into the center. Could actually kill it off here. Where's the pack gun? Pack gun's over here. Oof. Manages to barely just skirt by the edge of that Tellermine and make it back into that house and just break its wall, because its damaged engine didn't allow it to actually break, and it just slowly pushed through. So here we have the Cromwell. The Cromwell is inside, however the pack gun is unable to shoot at it. Also, always remember that you can attack ground and try and hit through a hedge, but obviously that doesn't replace, good positioning there. So right now, Kpen pretty much being forced into a little corner of the map. He's not sending anything over to the left. It's just being guarded by a single infantry section. His Garens are currently just holding position here inside the houses. Again, an MG would help him defend territory. Just putting the MG there if he's not going to be moving it around. Better than leaving a Grand Squad perpetually there. You see the infantry section popping up behind the territory, moving back into this territory. Into this house, I mean. And we have a Grand fighting it. Cromwell pushing forward, getting itself right on top of the house. The pack gun, again, not positioned properly here, moving itself all the way back into this corner. Manages to get a good shot there through the corner at that Cromwell, doing a little bit of damage, but nothing to really threaten it. And back at base, the sniper did move back and is currently slowly making its way back out there.
We are losing a sector.
Infantry section popping out of the house, going to be capturing territory behind. And again, Kpen not really being able to do too much here to stop it. Pack gun moving up to try and still fight against this Cromwell. And the Grens, again, we're going to see a Gren popping back into this house. Yeah. Anyways, hits flying from multiple directions. It looked to me like the mortar ended up killing friendlies. No? We did see a hit right there that ended up killing quite a bit of things. What was it? Oh, the mortar over here. A real mortar came into play here for Selendis. It does select this doctrine, and that is the Vanguard Operations Regiment. It's been a while since we've seen that. Pretty much all the time we've seen just the SimCity doctrine. And It's nice. I mean, obviously it does have that crocodile at the end, which is pretty powerful, so I'm assuming a glider will be coming into play at some point. Anyways, the sniper out in the open here, going to be moving out of the way. The Cromwell actually going to be hunting the sniper here, going to be trying to take it out. Sniper sitting there, holding position, now retreating as the Cromwell tries to take it down, but does not manage to impact it. Coaxial gun taking some shots, getting some damage in there. Oof! Nasty shot there by the Cromwell, managing to hit the sniper on the splash, doing a hefty amount of damage, but not actually taking it out. The pack gun and the mortar moving around. The mortar still no kills, but has gotten veterancy too, which provides it a decent amount of fire rate, I believe, right? Or is it just accuracy? What is it? Yeah, rate of fire too, so yeah, allows it to shoot that much more quickly. Infantry sections retreating from the right-hand side. Kpen pinned down essentially. Selecting his own doctrine, and that is the mobile defense doctrine, calling in a Ostrupen reserves to send out the Ostrupens over to the left-hand side. We do have that infantry section still guarding the territory, so it will be able to stop the Ostrupen from moving out and capping. And we see the pack gun trying to take as many shots as it can here against the Cromwell, managing to do so as the Royal Engineers are forced to retreat. But the mortar emplacement is just tearing it up, doing a lot of hefty damage here to these buildings and the units inside, countering the pack gun, countering the actual mortar itself. Slendis just, well, at this stage already, pretty much dominating the game, so we'll see how long Kpen can hold out here. The engagement continues to go on the left-hand side as the infantry section is fighting on two fronts here, getting shot at from both sides, but they are Ostrupens only, so they're not really putting up much of a fight. And everything currently back at base for Kpen, as the only things holding the line are a lone pack gun. And that's it. We do see a fuel cache getting dropped there on that point. Interesting at this stage. I mean, pretty much at this stage of the game, you kind of be wanting to pump out units and troops. He's only at 54 pop cap. But I suppose putting a cache on this point kind of secures it a little bit better so that he doesn't get cut off. However, doesn't actually do much for him right now because he only really has this point. Usually what you don't want to happen here is at this point getting cut off and you lose control of your fuel and your munitions. So yeah. So right now, I mean, it would probably be better for Kpen to shift his axis and attack on this side at the very least. He does still control that one point. He could maybe defend it if he gets an MG or something. And try and control this territory so he gets control of that fuel and force Selendis to move out of this territory. Because he's pretty pinned in there. He's pretty dug in and is not going to be moving anytime soon. There's an MG covered by a mortar emplacement. Which means that your mortar is having a difficult time trying to flush out the MG because it's just getting countered. So it's tough. It's tough. Ostrupen moving over to the left-hand side, running into some infantry sections. These guys do have Brens though, so they're going to be able to tear apart the Ostrupen. Second one moving up, and everything currently moving forward here for Kpen. As we see the Royal Engineers making their way to try and get themselves inside that house. Shack Little here collapsing. We see the Royal Engineers finally putting themselves inside that home. Not going to be flushed out, not anytime soon. And the sniper, 11 kills so far, doing okay. Kpen deciding to go for a Stug to try and fight the Cromwell. Unfortunately for him, though, we do see a second Cromwell coming into play, which, yeah, I mean, unless Kpen really coordinates and properly sets up his pack gun to defend the Stug, that's not going to go too well for him. Ostrupen squad on the left-hand side did manage to flush out that infantry section, so it's managing to recapture a little bit of territory. Where are all the Grens? What are the Grens doing? We have this Gren here, this Gren hold up inside this house, just defensively. Yeah, no. That's not gonna work. I suppose we'll follow through and see the game to the end, but yeah, I mean, Kpen's gonna lose. There's no way he can actually come back from this. Because even then, he selected the mobile defense doctrine, which, you know, command tank is the only thing you can call in. Like, maybe if he was, and even then, you know, most of the times you already know it doesn't work, but maybe if he selected a doctrine that gives him a tiger at the end, he could potentially be just trying to hold out so he can get his tiger and go for one big maneuver and swing it back in his direction to win the game, you know, one fell swoop. But, you know, not really working here. Anyways, we do see the Stug coming into play, managing to do quite a bit of hefty damage here to the Cromwell, almost taking it out. However, we see the, oh wait, no, that wasn't the second Cromwell, that was a Comet coming into play, catching the Stug out of position. It can't actually move through there. Oh, it can actually. Oh, never mind. It's small enough that it can actually make it through there. I don't think the Comet actually can. Yeah, that one's too fat, so it can't actually fit through there. Even though it could, you know, the magical barrier of video game land manages to prevent it. So the Stug manages to stay alive. Unfortunately for it, though, it did not manage to get the kill on the Cromwell. So now with a Cromwell and a Comet, Stug definitely has an uphill battle to fight. Pack gun moving itself to the very corner and then just sitting there looking awkward. I mean, Kpen is doing a fantastic job at just holding this little slab of land. That's apparently the only thing he cares about. S205 moving to the left-hand side. Again, the Bren-equipped infantry sections should be able to just simply deal with them without any issues. A single Pio back at base is in charge of repairs for the tank, which is going to take them quite a bit. We see the second S205 moving over there. Sniper being brought into play. 13 kills so far. Taking shots there at the infantry section. Going to be trying to clear out the left. And Zelendis doesn't even give it an opportunity. Loses one man and instantly retreats because, well, there's no winning against that, right? Royal Engineers quickly repairing the damaged Cromwell, bringing it back to full strength. And again, these guys not moving anywhere, not trying much. We do have, of course, an MG in front of them, so they can't really push. So, you know, I can't blame them, but sitting still usually is not going to win you the game unless you're already in a favorable position dominating most of the map. Grens going to be getting Faust going on that tank, I believe. No, doesn't even have enough for it. Oof. Nasty crushing going on in that Gren squad. Second Gren squad also taking the brunt of the damage here from the mortar emplacement. The mortar emplacement better than C2. 7 kills so far. Doing a very good job. Down to one man on that Gren squad. Manages to not decap that victory point as it retreats a split second too early, preferring to save its life rather than, you know, get itself killed. I saw something drop. What was it? Oh, the mortar has been cleared out. So yeah, like I said, that's the issue there. That mortar pit. Yeah, I mean, you can't really fight a mortar pit with a actual mortar crew, because no matter how many times you actually hit the mortar pit, the mortar emplacement, you're not going to kill the members inside. You're going to damage the building, so it doesn't compare. And yeah, that's why I'm saying he maybe should have shifted in this direction and try to control that point and then have control of this point like he's doing right now. And that would actually force Zelendis to move his troops into a different location, fighting out in the open, and being out of range of his mortar placement. So the Comet moves up to the left-hand side, supported by a infantry section and a second infantry section. The Grens do manage to capture the point, so the point bleed stops and turns in the other direction there for Kpen a little bit. 369 to 299, so, you know, not a huge lead just yet there for Zelendis, but, you know, it's starting to be noticeable. What the hell? Oh, there you go. Bren getting dropped there on the field for Zelendis as squad gets killed off on the retreat. Manages to get the Bren recovered on the other infantry section, so no big deal, but does lose one squad, which means a little bit of less capping, but so far doesn't seem to be that big an issue. Pack gun slightly out of position there, unable to actually shoot at the Cromwell. The Cromwell just posting it. And we see a calling strafing support right on top of everything, doing quite a bit of damage here to the infantry. I believe it throws rockets too, or if it's just... Yeah, it throws rockets, but it doesn't look like the rockets hit anything that I can see. One of them is coming up for another pass. There goes the rockets. There we go. Just getting hit there by a rocket strafe, but not taking too much damage actually to the rocket strafe. See shots flying through the hedge there as it hits the Cromwell. Kpen finally attacking through hedge, trying to hit. Oh, a nice little hit there by the Cromwell, landing on the Stuk. Gonna be forcing it to back off and get some more repairs going. Unless, of course, the Comet comes in and kills it. That Comet's currently back at base, so no real issues there for Kpen, but... well, he's currently losing territory on the left-hand side. Mortars still left there on the field. The pack guns are getting repositioned. This pack gun is down to 2 men. Has a oversoldat, not oversoldat, but Ostrupen right on top of it. Strafing run manages to take out the weapon, and these guys should probably go recrew it right away. As infantry sections move up and capture territory behind the lines. Well, not really behind the lines, they can actually still connect there through the north, so, you know, just capturing a little bit of extra territory, I suppose. The Comet moving up. Finally, Kpen deciding to shift his axis and is going to be fighting on the left-hand side. We see a lone Ren-equipped infantry section trying to make a stand, but quickly retreating as it realizes that it's getting surrounded. Gonna be able to make it out of there without much of an issue. And the mortar emplacement is taking some shots over here on this side. Still able to reach this point, but I don't think there's any way we can see the range of it, right? Like, yeah. It's unfortunate that those things aren't really available and in place. Would actually improve the spectator aspect of the game. Not what people watch. And anyways, the folly of the Stug happens as the Comet just manages to circle strafe the Stug, getting it killed, blowing it up. Kpen does call in a Puma to provide some additional support. Puma, not the best here in the situation, especially with the Crocodile coming into the field, and the Crocodile should basically be the kiss of death here for for Kpen. Cromwell also moving up to try and provide some support. The pack gun is set up there to stop the approaching tank, but I mean by itself won't be able to do too much. Puma's shots flying, trying to penetrate that armor, but that is a heavy tank. It's going to have a difficult time hitting it through the front. The Crocodile also can really just sit there and tank the shots of a pack gun to eternity. And we see a Faust going off, getting a good hit there on the Cromwell. Not the Cromwell, Crocodile. Churchill Crocodile. And the Puma just trying to hit it from the rear, but, you know, it is an armored car, it's not a tank, so it does eventually go down, as you would expect. Cromwell helping out to finish it off. The pack gun doing a valiant effort here, finally going down. And Kpen finally throws in the towel. So, yeah, like we expected more than 10 minutes ago, Celendis comes out on top. But yeah, I mean, weird decisions there, but oh well. Can't all be pro level, right? Anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.